how to fix your digestive system in 36 hours. So basically, you have this gut bacteria that goes into your small intestine, that's just after the stomach, and it starts to help break down food that you've been eating so that it can be digested properly. The problem is, when you've taken antibiotics, this particular gut bacteria will be missing from your digestive system, and it will cause all sorts of health issues. It'll cause skin issues, it'll cause bone issues, it causes mental health issues. It has a lot to do with the vagus nerve. You should read up on the vagus nerve or watch one of my other videos on the vagus nerve. And now what we've come up with is this yogurt by a doctor in the US who decided that just taking this probiotic is not enough. So he puts it in a kind of yogurt that he makes, and he ferments that yogurt for 12 hours longer than normal yogurt. And this stuff works wonders. I'm going to show you right now how to make this stuff so that you can fix your own gut health. You can go and buy a little yogurt maker. It only costs like, I don't know, 300 Rand or something. Or in dollars, that would be like, I don't know, $15, $20. It's a little Chinese yogurt maker. And you use your full cream and you use this particular gut bacteria. So here we go. All right, so here we go. We're going to show you exactly what you need. So first of all, you need a little yogurt maker. This is one I got off the internet. It cost me like 300 Rand, which is about $15 to $20. Then you need, if you're making your second batch, then you'll need part of the first batch to put in there. I'll explain why that is as we get there. Then you need pouring cream. So this is fresh cream that you would use for your coffee or your tea. And you can use half and half if you're in the US, but a good thick cream is the best because it's very fat. And then inulin, which is a prebiotic. So the inulin is something that helps the microbes develop and helps the actual yogurt bind. Then you will need a spoon. Make sure that your utensils are clean. You cannot use something that's not clean. It must be properly clean and sanitized. If it's not, you're going to have trouble with your yogurt. That bacteria that's in the little crevices on that spoon or the stirrer that you're using is going to cause trouble. Then you'll need a whisk, which will help you mix it as you put the cream and the inulin and the actual probiotic into a small bit of the cream when you start off. Then you need this, the Al-Reaturi. I use this one, which I get from a drugstore or chemist here or pharmacy here in South Africa, but you can get this in the US and you can get it anywhere in the world if you just ask for it. It's called Al-Reaturi. The spelling will be in the description. Then we take the cream and we pour a bit of it into the bowl. I've already turned the bowl on, the yogurt maker, so that it is preheated. And then I take, this is 2.5 billion. So this is 2.5 billion strength. We're looking to get like 50 billion out of this lot. So it's going to grow as it ferments in the yogurt maker. So open these capsules, pour it in there. Oops, take that out. And the next one, open it up, pour it in, and I'll put 3 in just to be safe. Make sure I have enough of this bacteria in there. It's good gut bacteria. Pour that in there, and then I'll take some inulin, powder, and they say to use 2 tablespoons. I'm going to use 3 because it makes it nice and thick then. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then the very important part of this is to make sure that you mix this in properly with your whisk. Take the whisk and get this in there so that it mixes in and there's no clumps. You can, if you can't get it mixed properly with the whisk, you can press it with a spoon, press those little clumps out of there, but I found I can normally get it all done with a whisk. There we can see there's no clumping. Got into all the corners, made sure that inulin and that L-reituri powder is all properly mixed. And then I take the old batch, the one that I had made before, and I take a new utensil, not the old one that I used. You've got to keep everything clean. There we go, that's nice and thick. Put 1, put 2 in there. So you can see it's kind of like yogurt, but it's not actually yogurt. It's a little bit more than yogurt. I'm going to lick that spoon off. I love this stuff. That is awesome. Take the whisk again. Mix that in nice and properly. That's great. Then I'll take the cream. Empty the rest of the cream in there. That's almost a liter that I have in there. That's a piece of thick cream. Yummy. Next one. Make sure I fill this thing up. There we go. I'm going to get that piece in there. Nice and thick and fatty. Cream is a much better option than just milk, and never, never, never use low fat. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get that closed and put it in the fridge. And then mix this up again. Don't churn it too much. You don't want to make butter here. So you just want to mix it in so that it's nicely mixed and everything's a nice consistency. Still got some lumps there. It's getting better. All those lumps, see what they are. Still have some lumps in the bottom there. That's better. Okay. Put the lid on. This is a little cheap little guy, and it actually, I've made so many batches in this, and you could have seen the consistency of the last batch was really nice and consistent and really nice and thick. So what I also do is, just to make sure I keep the heat in, I put a bit of a cloth around it, tablecloth, and just let that brew. So then you go for 36 hours with that. And that will give you the yogurt that you saw in the last batch. And it's really, really good for you. So the one other thing that I just wanted to explain about this is you need to check the temperature when it's busy fermenting, because this little thing here gets to just over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, like about 106 degrees Fahrenheit, or it gets to about 37 to 40 degrees Celsius. So I use one of these. So we can see as we're starting off what the temperature will be. 16 degrees Celsius. So that's way too cold, but it's going to warm up. It'll be warm in about an hour. It'll be at its temperature. And then the time now is 9 a.m. in the morning. So 9 p.m. tomorrow, I'll take this out and I'll start with the next batch. So there you go. That's how you make this fantastic yogurt that's going to sort your gut out. I hope this helps you. All right. So this has been on for about an hour and a half now. I'm going to just quickly check the temperature. It doesn't really make a difference if you open it from time to time to check the temperature. So I'm going to use this little thermometer here. And where are we at? Let's have a look. We're at 27 degrees. We started off at 16 degrees, so it's getting there. And this little towel around here will definitely help. And it'll eventually get to like 37 to 40 degrees. And that would be perfect. It'll go like that for probably about 34 hours at that temperature, which is body temperature, which is what this bacteria likes to live in. All right, cool. There we go. So there you go. So the one thing I do need to let you know about is that your first batch will probably not come out that great. It normally separates like with the curds and whey. So you can strain it if you want to, and then eat the solid part and strain off the liquid. But you do need that batch to start your next batch. And when you put your 2 or 3 tablespoons of that first batch in the yogurt, you'll find that that second batch turns out perfectly. Third batch even better, and it starts to get thicker. What I've noticed every batch that you do, it starts to get thicker and it gets more of a yogurty type of consistency. One of the major things is make sure that you clean your utensils. You cannot do this with dirty utensils. You'll be fermenting salmonella or something like that in this yogurt if you don't do that. And when you open it, it'll smell really off. So the main thing here is to, make sure that you clean those utensils. Get in all the little corners and the crevices. Clean it with alcohol if you have to, alcohol spray or something like that. And that'll work out best. So there we go. And try it out. Let me know how it goes. I've found massive differences to my health, my gut health, my skin health, my eye health. Everything has improved. So it's a bacteria that your gut absolutely needs, but it doesn't have.